I think just the biggest thing is I just looked at. I went through and saw how efficient we were in the passing game. Just saw what we were doing conceptually. Looked at different ways of like how I can layer those different things game to game because I think we're doing a really good job of using our core concepts, the things that we've worked on a ton, and presenting them in different pictures each week. Secondly, I think the run game has been obviously a point that you guys have asked me about a lot. I think the biggest thing is I guys got to continue to play to the strengths of what we're doing, putting the running backs in the best position possible to run the ball effectively. I think it comes down to the same thing. I think that we went into the USC game. I think it's just how well we prepare for the game each week. I thought we had a great week going to the USC game, and I thought we had a great week going to the UCLA game. I think the biggest difference that I felt going into it is being able to change the picture the same way I do in the passing game, same way I do in the run game, and change the picture and get to those different things different ways to be able to help the offensive line, help tight ends, help the whole offense know, okay, all right, we're giving them this picture, but we could run the same play. We're giving them the same picture here, but we're running a different play there. Like I think it's those types of things that I think can help the offense collectively as a whole.
Along that note, of all the cards you had in your hand to start the year, how many more can you play now, just having 7 games behind you, 8 weeks of practice?
I mean, I think we have a lot left in the tank. I'm really excited about the next 5 games. I think we can continue I think we played about as complete a football game against Southern Cal outside of the one turnover. The thing that I was most pleased about that game was the 0 3 and outs. That's a benchmark that we have within our offense. Because the thing is, we talk about this as a staff, and then I talk about it with the quarterbacks all the time. Is that if you can gain 10 yards within the first drive or within a drive, then you have the ability to, okay, maybe I don't get the first down on the second 3 downs, and then maybe I get to 3rd and 1, I gain 19 yards. Well, then you've almost gained that, and then you're able to flip the field with field position. Like that's so critical because going 3 and out is twofold. It gets your defense back on the field so fast. They don't get a break. They don't get any time to make any type of adjustments. And then secondly, the field position. So the thing is you're looking at that drive, okay, we didn't go 3 and out, but we punted it. We backed them up, and then the defense, maybe they go 3 and out. And then we get the ball back in the plus territory or around the 50, and it puts our percentages so high to be able to at least get 3 points. So I think that's why I look at with the USC game. And I think that's the challenge each week going into it is how many plays can we go 1-0 on, and how many clean football plays can we do consecutively to put us in a position to score points. That's why I look at it. I don't look at it schematically like how much we have left. We're gonna line up and snap the ball, and 16 is gonna make it right. So I'm excited about the opportunity for him, and I'm excited about the opportunity for the rest of the guys to be able to continue to play and get better.
When you're building a call sheet, how valuable are the conversations and feedback you get from Max, and in general, how do you go about incorporating player feedback?
It's everything with the quarterback. I mean, at the end of the day, like you gotta like the offensive line, like we're gonna run our run schemes. They have to be able to execute them, and you play to the strengths. But when you look at that, like you're looking at, okay, technically they're gonna work on the certain fundamentals to make that play better. Running back, same thing. Wide out, they work on different break points, different routes within the system. But at the end of the day, like every Thursday, I sit there and after our Thursday practice, and I go through pretty much every call with them, and I'm like, hey, you like this? You like this? What do you like better? And I mean, there's been multiple times throughout the season where I'm not calling a play because he doesn't like it. And I trust him because at the end of the day, ball's in his hands. He has to make the decision, the full speed decision. So player feedback's huge, and it also comes down to us or me listening to the other position coaches and saying, all right, hey, Daniel's not understanding this concept as well as we should after Wednesday, and then we just scratch it. So it's like one of those things where we have to look at what the player's strengths are, and then I also have to listen to Max.
On that aim, it sounds like that late screen with Lemecki, something you went back to even if it hadn't worked during the week. Walk us through kind of what gave you the confidence to do that.
That play's gotten a lot of attention. First of all, it's pretty. I didn't even think about it. I saw the play early in the third quarter because I came out of the halftime and I felt like though we could make a slight adjustment with what we were doing by moving the pocket a little bit with Max, and I thought that could maybe help out the run game, but I really wasn't doing it to help the run game. I was doing it more so I could gain positive yards because I thought those plays would work. And then we ran two or three keepers where we ended up getting positive yards. And then I saw the reaction off of that play in the third quarter where they ran a cat blitz. They ran a corner blitz off the boundary side. And when that happened, I knew that Lemecki would be open. But I felt like even in their base coverage that they weren't tracking Lemecki. And so like I went back to it, and it wasn't a third down call. It was just a critical situation where I was like, we needed to get the first down, and I wanted to use it when we were in that low, maybe like that high green zone. Like we were on like the 12-yard line, 13-yard line. We were right in that fringe of being in the tight green zone versus the high green. And I was like, at the end of the day, it's players over plays. That's the end of the story, man. I think like you can call everything schematically you want. I think the cool thing Coach Fleck said to the staff the next day was on that 2-minute drive, I think 5 or 6 different people touched the ball. And it's just a testament to our players. I've said it each week. It's players over plays. And Lemecki executed it. Quinn did a great job on that. He executed. He had to block the defensive end. He came off. I mean, it was great execution, and we needed 2. And I think he got 5. And then we set it up where they executed the next 3 plays. And obviously the last play was great execution. All 11 players on the field.
Darius leads the Big Ten running backs in receptions. He's second in Power 4 there. You look at UCLA trying to take him away a little bit more. How do you continue to adapt and try and find ways to get Darius the ball?
I think it's twofold. I think you're always going to find ways to get in the football, whether it's through quick game, whether it's through different concepts that we have, whether it's a check down. Maybe we build in a ton of check downs within the system, and he's in on those particular plays. I feel confident with Marcus as well in that. I also think it's a compliment to him and the hard work he's put in. That's the biggest thing we always say. We always say that to whoever our top wideout is, and we say it to Daniel all the time. Hey, when they're clouding you, like that's a compliment. When they're taking you away with 2 different people, when they're doing different things to Darius, like we embrace that, and he should embrace that because that's a compliment because they're looking at him like, hey, we have to figure out a way to stop that guy. But at the end of the day, Darius is gonna want to get his, and he executed. And at the end of the day, there was no complaining, no nothing. He just at the time, with 27 seconds left, the ball came to him. He caught it, he scored, and he just continues to prepare every day. Monday all the way up into the game, and then when the game comes, he continues to prepare.
What are the challenges of Maryland's defense?
They do a really good job of being multiple up front. They can go in and out of a 4-down front and a 3-down front. They can move the front a ton. I think that's one thing that you always have to be prepared for up front with the offensive line is just paying attention to having your eyes in the proper location when those knees move with the D-line. When knee goes away, knee goes to you, so on and so forth. I think that's a challenge in itself. I think the back end does a really good job of changing the picture. I do think they do a good job of being schematically sound where you get this particular reaction from this guy, you're probably going to have this on the other side. I've said that before with Max. And I like what they do on third down. They have carryover from first and second down to third down, but they have little wrinkles that they can do that can give the offense problems. But then they also have the same thing where it's carryover where those guys can play fast. And that's the challenge I think that they present with us. But they're physical, they move up front, they're athletic. It'll be a tough challenge.
What have you learned about Max's down to the minute day-to-day routine?
I respect it a ton. The routine of him is everything. I think it's cool. I said it before. We had this discussion with the offensive staff just about routine, preparation. His preparation is second to none. I've never seen anything like it. Down to the minute where we're sitting in the position meeting this morning, and I always joke around with him. I can see when he's getting antsy because he starts to look at the clock. And it's not a disrespectful thing. It's just I got to get out and I got to start to get warmed up. And it's not that his body, like he takes care of his body, but it's more of just getting his mind into the right frame where practice is about to start. I think it's cool. I think I've had a ton of talks with other guys about that of how do you have that so that on a Tuesday practice you can hit the practice field going as fast as you possibly can mentally and physically? Well, you have to have that routine. He has the same routine every single week. Monday, he's watching this. Tuesday, he's watching this. Wednesday, he's watching this. Thursday, he's going back through certain things. Friday, at times, like it's hit or miss. Like he might do one thing on this Friday that he might do a little bit differently last week. It just depends on how comfortable he is. I always say there's an evolution to Max throughout the week where on Tuesday he wants to know the why in everything. And he wants to know what the defense is doing. And at that time, he hasn't figured it out yet. So it's like one of those things where we go back and forth on, all right, this is what they're doing. This is why they're doing it. And then it might be, okay, he gets a look in practice where it's like, okay, I got to get that again. And then Wednesday comes around, it's the same thing, but it's third down. So he's still in that mood where he's like, I got to get all this stuff down by the time Thursday hits. And then Thursday he wants to have every look and every reaction perfect. That's him. I think the more you're around him and the more you get to know him, the more you see like he's so meticulous. Everything's to a T. And I think it infiltrates through our offense. I think it's helped. I've said this to the guys a lot. The biggest change, if you watch our offense from last year to this year within the passing game and why it's been more efficient, is don't watch the offensive line, the protection, or the quarterback. Watch the receivers and the tight ends and the running back run their routes or get to the check down. There's multiple times where you watch Darius Taylor go through his protection responsibility, or Marcus, and they're so fast through it, and they're right, but they get to the check down so quick because they know Max is going to go through his progression so fast that they have to be in that spot. Elijah Spencer is going to run. Like you watch Elijah Spencer run a route last year compared to this year, it's number one, he's a better player than he was last year. He's a better version of himself. But secondly, from the time the ball snapped to the ball's completed, he's running the route as fast as he possibly can, and he's going to be in that spot because Max has to have him in that spot. That's how Max has impacted him. And that happened in the winter and the spring. I think that's the biggest difference between the passing game this year and last year, if I were to compare how the wideouts, tight ends, and running backs execute within the offense. They're executing at a high level. Goes down to preparation with the position coaches. The position coaches give them the information they need throughout the week, and the guys go out and execute it.
How has Max's meticulousness impacted you? Have you changed how you try to approach things or counteract?
Well, I love it. I knew back in bowl prep before the Quick Lane Bowl, I knew it was going to be this way. It's like I embrace it. I love it because, number one, as a coach, you challenge yourself every day as a coach, but you want your players to challenge you too. People think that that's a bad thing when the players challenge you. Like I love when guys ask questions. I have no problem with a guy's going to ask why, whether it's Darius, Daniel, Max, Quinn, Jameson. It can be whoever. If they want to know why, they're challenging us. And if we give a bad answer, we aren't doing a good job as a coach. And that's why I love going into every meeting with him. Because, number one, I might explain something and he understands it. I might explain something, but he's thinking about it from a different perspective, and he might say that, and then it's making me think. And then at the end of the day, when Saturday at 2:30 hits, like we're both aligned mentally. And that's what it comes down to. It's working through those things. I said back, I think I can't remember when it was, January, when Max first got here, I looked at this not as just a coach-player relationship. I looked at it as a partnership. And it's us working together to be able to put the best product out there. And that's what I think is the meticulous is worn off on me. You know, I look at myself as a guy that's always wanting to prepare the players, but I love it when the guys are going to come in, they're going to challenge me to make me better too.
Got time for one more for Coach Finn's got it? All right. Thanks, Coach.
Cool. See you guys.
About your defense and self-scout during the bye week.
You know, I think we kind of went and, you know, looked over all the different situations, different reps, you know, really kind of attacked areas that we feel like we need to clean up and fix, get better at. You know, the number one thing was just our technique and our fundamentals. You know, we had opportunities to get a little bit more indie, you know, kind of focus on the details and, you know, break it down to the basics with our guys. It was really good to get some younger guys some reps, continue to build the depth because, we're always one play away from another guy being on the field or another guy being on a package. Always want to continue to build that depth and be deeper as a unit. And then, the situational football, stop the run. Number one thing, we're continuing to work on that every single week. That's going to be the top goal. Third down defense, we looked at some different things, different teams in the Big Ten, different NFL teams, people that are similar to us or that has some carryover to how we attack people or different looks that we give. And, tried to go through that and then really looked at what we've had success with and maybe what we haven't had as much success with and, trying to build off of that as we go into, the Maryland game or this week. Green zone football, red zone football, looking at those situations and trying to build off of what we've done there. And then, really just take the self-scout, where we have tendencies, different things we've looked at and, try to make sure we're on top of us going into, now a Maryland week or what we have for the remainder of the season here.
What have you noticed while preparing for Maryland?
Yeah, I think they're, big play potential every snap. You look at their wide receivers, they can take the top off at any point. They get a lot of touches. 10's going to get 8 to 10 touches on first and second down. And then, there's different situations on third down where the ball's going to him. Same thing with the boundary X1. They're going to get the ball to him. He's dynamic with the football, and it's going to be everything from a hitch, a screen, a tunnel, trying to take the top off, running some different rub routes. But they do a lot of different things to get the ball out in space, whether it's to a back, it's to a wide receiver. The tight ends are very, they do a lot of different things with the tight end, whether it's a delay screen or it's a pop going down the, off a play action or it's something trying to get the ball out in space right now and try to find a mismatch. But they do a really good job of getting the ball out. The quarterback does a great job of involving everyone, early in the down. Third down, they use a lot of different people. And, and they, the run game that they use, I think they balance it up well to marry up with their pass game, with different looks, with different RPOs, with different, gap scheme protections where they try to, collapse the linebackers or pull guys down in the box to open up the middle of the field. And we have to do a great job this week. We have to be really disciplined with our eyes and, the different, everything off of their screens and their quicks. They have a double move or they have a screen and go, stock and go. We got to do a great job with that all week with our eyes.
You look at the third down struggles. Is the simplest way to get better stop being in third and short so much?
100%. I take, you look at our numbers, third and 4 plus, third and 5 plus to third and 1 to 4. That's the number one thing. It's third and 1 to 4, you have to defend everything. 1 to 5, you have to defend everything. You only have so far to go. They're on track. We have to be better on first down. We have to be better on second down. We have to tackle better. We have to stay ahead of the sticks. We have to finish plays, and that's been the biggest message all year. And we look at that every week where a team's successful and where a team's not. And I feel like we've done a better job in some weeks. Obviously, the USC game, we weren't where we wanted to be on third down. Last week, I thought we were in some better situations on third down. I thought we, especially after that first series, had some better situations. And then, we've had guys last week or 2 weeks ago now make some plays in those situations where I think we're playing a little bit faster. I think we're playing a little bit more confident. And we want to continue to see success in those areas. But the goal is to stay ahead of the sticks. We worked on it. We're looking at different things as we get in different situations to try to be more successful and to try to play to our strengths as we continue to build every week.
What have you seen in Ethan Robinson's development since the start of the season and now?
Hey, he's a guy. He's very confident. He plays fast. Tackles really well, and he's a guy we trust. We trust him on the perimeter. We trust the one-on-ones. He does a great job, within the scheme. And he's just a guy that's very confident. He's a leader. He plays fast. He brings our back end up every single day.
Ethan said part of the success of the D is responsibility and not, I think he said, going after the cheese. How do you balance that idea for a guy like Corey Parrish, who I imagine he has a little bit longer leash when he wants to chase that cheese?
Yeah, I think, we talk to our guys all the time, though, about make the available play aggressive, go take a shot, play aggressive, because, everything with us is we want to be physical. We want to be physical at the point of attack. We want to be physical on edges. That was one of the things, a couple plays at UCLA, we lose an edge, and all of a sudden our swarm's there. like the one screen, I think it was right before halftime, a T2 situation, and we have like 4 guys all there. One guy peeks, ball starts to come out, a couple of guys lose their lane, and Wally is on a blitz, and Wally makes the play 30 yards down the field. Ja misses the tackle 8 yards down the field. Ja's the second guy. Joey Gerlach's a guy that's involved in the swarm, and like our guys are playing really hard. We just gotta continue to understand the situations, understand the leverage, and understand when you can take your shot and play fast, and then when you have to set an edge or do your job. And it's all 3 levels. It's built in where our guys can play fast, and I think that's where our guys have a lot of confidence in taking advantage of some of those opportunities.
What is helmet communication Cody been able to do to your guys' level of play?
I'm still trying to figure it out. No, it's interesting because there's some weeks you can use it a lot. Last week they broke the huddle at 12 seconds. It was dead. So every week it's a little bit different. In North Carolina, they're going fast. The situation. So every week it's a little bit different. It is pretty neat, like being able to get different things in, or just reminders, or just different things you want to tell the D-line or tell the back end, or communicate with someone else on the second level, and being able to do that, not yelling it or signaling it from the sideline. But it's something that I think every week we've gotten better at it as a group on defense, and it's definitely been beneficial overall.
How is that helpful, just given Cody's experience and acumen?
Well, that's I think we have smart players on defense. We have guys that understand situations. They have good awareness of what's going on around them, and like I love it in practice. Like you see it all the time. Like in games, you can see their communication. You can see them talking. You can see their signals. Just awareness of down and distance, of formations, of what's going on around them, where they have help, where they don't have help, and being able to give some of those reminders. And like a guy like Cody, he usually he's 2 steps ahead anyway. So a lot of times it's just kind of a reminder. He's probably already on it or already ahead of it. But that's one thing. I think our guys are smart. They love football. They come in, they watch film, they study different things, and just situational football in general. Like we hit it all spring, we hit it all summer. We had guys present it, and they do a really good job with that stuff. But it is nice to have him just kind of echo it and remind it in certain situations. So,
Coach Fluck punts late in the game, knowing that you need to get a stop. What was your message to your team before you went out there for that last drive?
Yeah, I think that's something we practice all the time, and it's something that may not show up in a game one time all year. But 4-minute football, we got to go out. We know we're going to use our timeouts. We got to get a stop, and talking to the guys about being aggressive, doing their job. Discipline eyes, because especially that last play, they're going to run it, they're going to pass it. What type? Is it going to be moving pocket? How are they going to attack that situation? And then even the 4th down, against us, they elect to punt it. The next week, they go for it in the same situation earlier in the game. So just trying to figure out what they're trying to figure out in that situation, what our plan is, trying to be one step ahead. But that just shows us the trust in the defense. Punt, pin it, get a stop, get a 3 and out, use our timeouts, and then offense gets the ball back and they drive down the field to win the game. And I think that's just really good team complementary football. Special teams executes exactly how we have to. We pin them down, tight, backed up. We go out, we get a stop. That's a huge play. That 3rd down stop, Jack going, squaring him up, throwing his hands, taking a shot, and then Cody swarming to the football and cleaning it up, making sure we don't give up a 1st down. I thought our execution on 1st, 2nd down, I thought our guys strained and did a really good job of winning at the line of scrimmage and stopping the run to get them in an off-track 3rd down situation. And then, our offense to be able to, their special teams to get the field position, get the ball back to the offense, and our offense to execute, drive the field, and go win a game on the road. I just thought that was really good team football by our guys. And, I was proud of the guys on defense. You go, the drive before, we don't get a stop. They step right back up. We respond. We get a 4-minute stop. Offense goes down, scores, and then we're right back in a 4 minutes or a T4 situation where we now need to stop, get the stop to win the game, get the ball back to the offense so we can kneel it out. And it was awesome going through both situations in a game, and the way our guys responded, the way the guys handled the situation and understood what we had to do, and then to be able to execute on the road, I thought that was big time.
What are the biggest changes you've seen from the Maryland offense since Loxley has taken back over play calling?
might be a little bit more pass right now. But I think they're just distributing the ball. They're getting the ball to their playmakers. They're getting the ball out. I don't know, formationally maybe a little bit different, and it's been different, when you watch the Northwestern game and then what they did last week. So for us, it's kind of, we're still going through the full season. What are they good at? Where are their strengths? What do they lean on in certain situations? What have they done the last 2 weeks? What maybe doesn't show up as much. But I still think they do a good job of, Billy getting the ball out to the wide receivers, distributing the ball, involving the tight end, getting some guys in space. The running back, Hemby runs hard. Those guys do a really good job of playing downhill their backs, keeping them on track in situations. I think maybe some of the protection stuff has looked a little bit different, but different things on third down, the way they've attacked you. But I also don't know, is that because of what USC did compared to what Northwestern did, and how the presentations were different on third down, then some of the situations were a little bit different, from one game to the other. So that's something we got to get a feel for early. How are they going to attack us? Where are they trying to get the ball out, in their first 10 or 15 plays? And we got to make sure we do a great job responding to that, depending how they use their guys and their personnel against us.
How do you go about incorporating player feedback during the week and then using that to inform your strategy as you go into the game?
I'm big on asking our guys all the time. Like, if we're confident, if our players are confident in it, that's what we're going to lean on doing. Because number one thing, we can sit in a room and we can game plan. We can have all kinds of great ideas. We're not on the field. I want to make sure our guys are confident. They're going to play fast. They trust what we're doing. They believe in, the different calls and the different things, the situations we're putting them in. And, like today in practice, we're walking off the field and, right away I'm asking Strigg, I'm asking Wally, I'm asking different guys, hey, how did you like that? Or, what are your feelings on the game plan? What are the things you're really confident in? What are the things we're going to play fast in? It's everything. It's normal downs, it's third down, it's green zone, it's backed up, it's end of game situations. I want to make sure our guys are in roles that they're comfortable and they're confident in and that they believe in. And, I just think that allows our guys to trust it a little bit more, play faster, lean on one another, when they kind of have a little bit of ownership to that. And, we're always going to do different things. We're going to try to put us in the best situation that we possibly can as a staff. But we also want our guys to believe in it and play fast. And that's something we're always asking our players.
Got time for 2 more if anyone's got them? All right, thanks, Coach.
All right. Thank you, guys.